Thanks for watching the Daily Debate Live Wednesdays with Dr Hussein here on Nile TV International. Tonight we'll be talking about the role of the media in branding Egypt globally. And while talking about the role of the media, we're also talking about Nile TV International, the dear part of me and of all of us here at Nile TV. For 28 years, Nile TV International has been holding a very special heart and a very special place in the hearts and minds of all audiences around the whole world. And because of its significant role also in branding Egypt globally. We're shedding light on the different activities, on the presidential activities, like the important visit that President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi paid to Budapest, to Hungary, and different inaugurations throughout the state. Also, how Egypt is today playing a regional role and consolidating efforts on the regional as well as the international front. Well, having all the pleasure and honor to talk about Nile TV International and also about branding Egypt globally with Professor Dr. Hussein Amin, Professor of Mass Communication at AUC and Director of Kamal Adham Center for Television and Digital Journalism. Thank you so much for coming, Professor.
Me.
Thank you. And we will never forget that you have been always an icon, a media icon in Egypt and all over the Arab region, and how you shared in the launch of Nile TV International with your vision and with Mr. Hassan Hamid. So I have to congratulate you while we are talking the 28th anniversary.
No, I have to congratulate you. And you and your team, you did a wonderful, an excellent job through the years.
Thank you.
And this recognition goes to everybody who helped in developing Nile TV to become an international channel, reaching out for those who are living in different parts of the world, feeding them with information and knowledge about what's happening in their countries.
Yes, definitely. And like today, when the president was in Budapest in Hungary, that important visit, the different presidential activities and how they do contribute in branding Egypt globally. Nile TV International is in the heart of events following, and through the eyes of Nile TV, expats and audiences all over the world are watching and following up the activities of the president and what is happening in Budapest. How do you see the role of an international channel like Nile TV in branding the Egyptian identity?
Well, I think in this sense, Nile TV is very unique and different. It's the only English language and French language television network that is considered the diplomacy, the cultural diplomacy and the public diplomacy arm of the state. So this is one thing. On the other hand, it is important that all people know that because the position of Nile TV, it is important for a lot of audiences. People, they don't know them inside Egypt, but they are scattered all over the world, as you have said, to know about what's really happening in their countries through a fair, balanced
objective.
News, an objective, of course, news and information that is coming from a channel from their own land. These are the main two pillars, but there are others. One of the most important things for Nile TV that is really affecting those who are second generations English language and French language, in this sense bilingual and bicultural people who are migrated from Egypt to other countries long time ago, for their kids to be involved with the Egyptian politics, with the Egyptian civilization, and with the Egyptian people. People, they don't sense it here, but it is a very important dimension that one should really consider of the role of Nile TV. This important role is not going to be reflected on those who are seeing the scene right now, but in the future, when we develop ties through the visit of our president. These things with regard to events and the coverage of Nile TV, and by visiting countries, the Egyptian president is giving information to the rest of the world about Egypt, and this is what we call protocol news.
Yes.
So you know about the activities that are happening in the country through the leadership of the country. And it's something that we teach in universities.
Yes.
But protocol news is very important. And it is playing a significant role in promoting the image of Egypt and the new republic in different parts of the world. With regard to his visit to Hungary, I think right now a lot of people, they know that this group of countries are considered one of the important countries with regard to the industries and with regard to playing a role in promoting some of the national and developmental projects in Egypt.
Yes.
So it's going to reflect positively on the Egyptian from one side, and of course once we talk about the image is already being marketed
Yes.
throughout the news and the news reports in different news networks around the world.
Marketing the image, Professor,
Yes.
and you've mentioned, of course, protocol news and the way the president himself markets the country with a vision of the leadership where he goes to different countries all over the world. What does it take, in your opinion? What sort of arms do we need in order to market Egypt globally, as you see it?
There is hardware and software. Hardware is Nile TV, as we send it through the different
and soft power,
satellites.
it's another
of
story.
course.
Yeah.
And the software is the programs and the programming and content. This is the two together will make the image available and accessible to different people around the world. Now we have this. So what is soft power? Well, soft power is all of the collective culture motives and media, cinema, television, and different industries like music. All of these products are playing a very important role of really bringing other people to the Egyptian culture.
Yes.
So if you go, for example, to London, and you find yourself in a cab listening to Kulthum, no, you find this is again, it's an impact. You go to any country in the Maghreb countries, Abdulhalim Hafiz and all of the
Yes, and our icons.
And when you visit other networks, you will find a lot of people who worked in this channel and also in other channels in Egypt and get trained in here, and then they are shining stars all over the region and the world.
Yes.
So these are all of these items together, they constitute the soft power of Egypt.
Yes.
So protocol news through the president, soft power with regard to media industries are playing a very important role in marketing.
Yeah.
Marketing is not always a campaign in the United States or a campaign in Europe or through CNN or whatever. No, it's much bigger than this. A campaign, you can do a campaign and spend millions of dollars.
Yes.
But after a week or two, after finishing the campaign, the image, you know, it's a sudden death. The image will go. This is for other countries, but this country, for reasons, you know, of history and civilization and the people and the leadership, of course. This is again, it's something that there are things that are, you know, happening and bringing the image of Egypt through the
package that we talked
the
about.
package that we already mentioned.
The two arms.
The two arms.
Yes.
To the people in a continuum. I think it's wonderful. You know, I haven't. I talked about it before, but in a different sense. But right now, I see things that I can really think about and talk about, especially if we put protocol news in addition to soft power and.
Yes, and this equation would be wonderful.
I see a triangle. I see a triangle in front of me right
yes,
now. Yeah.
Protocol news and soft power, definitely.
Yeah.
And well, nations aim mainly to improve their country's standing, as the image of a nation can definitely and dramatically influence the economic vitality and also the political success. Let's have a look at the presidential activities earlier in the day, and we will be back to further discuss important media issues with Professor Dr. Hussein Amin.
President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi flew to Budapest, Hungary on Monday to take part in the Visegrad Group, the V4 summit, where he held intensive bilateral talks with senior Hungarian officials, including Prime Minister Viktor Orban and President János Áder, and discussed ways of bolstering political and economic ties as well as international and regional cooperation. The Visegrad Group, known as the V4 summit, which gathered Poland, Slovakia, Hungary and the Czech Republic in addition to Egypt, tackled a series of subjects including Egypt's role in the Middle East, cooperation to combat terrorism, illegal immigration, and energy security. The talks also addressed means of promoting trade, investment, and tourism, as well as enhancing Egypt-European Union cooperation. In a press conference following the V4 summit, President el-Sisi stated that though Egypt is hosting up to 6 million refugees from Africa and other unstable countries, the country never allowed those refugees and will not, from an ethical and humanitarian standpoint, to immigrate illegally to Europe, in order not to cause problems to Europeans, as well as for migrants, not to throw them into the unknown at sea. El-Sisi stressed that Egypt has no camps for those refugees, but from a human rights-based approach, the country treats them as guests on its soil, allowing them to join schools and universities, as well as being covered in its coronavirus vaccination campaign. The president underscored the fact that the world needs to reach a different approach to handle illegal immigration issues, asserting that illegal immigration reflects, in general, a form of human rights, but from a perspective different and not just limited to opinion expression and political practice. On another level, in a press conference with Hungary's President János Áder, el-Sisi said that Egypt only seeks to ensure obtaining its annual water share without harming anyone. The president added that Ethiopians' confirmation of not attempting to affect water flow to Egypt through the Renaissance Dam should be translated into a legally binding agreement with Egypt and Sudan, affirming that Egypt does not want water to be a reason for conflicts, problems, or clashes, but rather be used in development and cooperation among each other. In a meeting with President el-Sisi, Áder expressed Hungary's keenness to support Egypt's development efforts by exchanging expertise and fostering joint investments.
Well, as the song Weslami fi kol hin, may our country be always safe. And talking about Egypt's safety and Egypt's integrity, and in different speeches, well, the president is talking and addressing media men and media people. He always mentions, and I quote, awareness, al-wa'i. This important issue that is always co-relevant, and he's always pinning high hopes also on the Egyptian people and their awareness. Absolutely. In order to refute any sort of claims, rumors, or fake news that we talked about.
Before in different episodes.
Yes.
Yeah, awareness is a very broad term. It encompasses a lot of things that goes under the wing of awareness. And there are the main tool that is correlated and tied up with awareness is media. So media and awareness is always, actually we teach it at courses also in different classes, so either here or outside. You know, if the people are aware of all the conspiracies and the different lies and the fake news, then the country is safe. If the people are not, the country is not safe. So that's why the president is always saying, you know, and talking about awareness, and even in mentioning the media, and the role of the media in promoting awareness. So there are so many things that when we talk about awareness, that we initiate a lot of policies. These policies, with the hope, of course, that is going to confront the different lies and and bring all kinds of facts to the people. When the people are surrounded with facts, and somebody will come with
then those fake news is refuted automatically.
Absolutely, it's not going to exist.
Yes.
So you be bringing, you know, oxygen to the room.
Exactly.
And instead of
putting realities and facts in place.
Indeed. So in this sense, it is very important that the media continue working on awareness and awareness campaigns with regard to different aspects. Even in foreign relations, it's very important because sometimes certain entities trying to create an issue or a problem.
Clarifying any sort of misconceptions.
Misconception, mistaken ideas about things.
Yes.
So we have seen it because we have seen this around us. And the people who've been into other countries during this time where they are suffering from fake news, they will immediately say, Alhamdulillah, thank God, we are safe. Because until now, media is playing a meaningful role, and we wish really that the media continue to work on awareness to the point that we're saying, you know, we have really excellent, a shield, a cultural shield that is not going to allow penetration for any fake news to affect the Egyptians.
Exactly. The world media is seeing Egypt today from a different perspective.
Yes.
Many achievements taking place on Egyptian soil, the new republic, the different projects, the new cities, new administrative capital, new Galala. You know, all those achievements, in your opinion, which is the best way to market those great achievements to the world today?
First,
not only through a campaign, it's not a campaign as we were saying, but a continuous effort.
Absolutely. Well, part of it is, of course, allowing visits to correspondents to visit these sites.
Yes, to see for themselves.
To see themselves and report for their own people.
Right.
Because if they can't, then it will be difficult for us.
Right.
So it's very important to work on the correspondence and to make events and to initiate visits and grouping them to the different sites and let them see and report for themselves. This is the first thing. Second, of course, allowing international media to have productions here, because there are very wonderful sites everywhere. We see people producing movies in Tunisia and Algeria and Morocco, but we don't see them coming and seeing, our wonderful site producing something, or a series in Sharm el-Sheikh or in Hurghada. And third is also inviting those who are celebrities to come to this, whether if we're promoting it...
Something like El Guna Film Festival, which is taking place shortly.
Absolutely, but
those
this
events,
is, again, this event is confined to the event itself. It's an international event, and I adore it.
Yeah.
But, you know, we would like to have some of the celebrities visiting the
New Galala city.
The new Galala, this is an amazing project.
Right.
Okay, it's on the top of the mountain. I was there 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
It's really amazing.
Yes.
So
Nile TV International had produced.
And there is a beautiful hotel over there. You know, invite them for and let them speak about it. You know, there are so many film or movie stars. They came to Egypt and they have seen things that they like, and then when we're in a program like this over their main networks, they start talking about it. You know, so right now I think the presence of Egypt is much more solid than the period when I was working in the U.S. There are movie stars, Egyptian Americans, so they are talking about their life in Egypt, and they have memories over here, and they always talk about Egypt when they... and there are people who love Egypt.
Yes.
Yeah? Love Egypt. You know,
yes,
nobody,
they have a passion for the history,
they love
for
Egypt,
the country.
period. So also they come for visits. But, you know, you ask me what to do. You know, this is a third group that when if they are not here for the festival, film festival, or for a special event, we can organize certain visits through the business community, or we take advantage of them being here and also work with the organizer to have them visit some of the sites. And then let them collect their own memories and speak about it later.
Yes, definitely. And put this also on the social media.
Absolutely.
Yes.
The fourth dimension has to do with children. You know, children everywhere, and you see this in certain countries, because they know the importance. Before Corona, the pandemic.
Yeah, the pandemic.
We in Egypt used to organize the youth conferences.
The youth summits, yes.
And there are thousands of young people. They coming to Egypt from
for
everywhere.
the World Youth Forum. Yeah.
Absolutely. This is
beautiful.
And they have such wonderful gathering and beautiful songs and lovely spirit. And they, you know, this is again when they go back to their countries, and we have.
They are all ambassadors and speaking about what they saw.
This is cultural diplomacy.
Yes.
So we work over here with a segment, usually teenagers who are going to build families, and they carry this experience this wonderful experience they had it with their peers in Egypt to their families and to the future families.
Yes.
So this is again one thing. The fifth dimension is to work together, and the internet is allowing us to, you know, to bring schools together for the youngsters and organize through the business community or through the different international organization visits from different countries for young people at the age of 10 to 12 or 8 to 12, and then make sure that they have good experience with their peers.
Yes.
And this is again is going to grow together and work with the triangle, the public diplomacy, cultural diplomacy, and soft power, as we have mentioned.
Beautiful equation, wonderful equation.
And you will see what's going to happen.
Everything great is going to happen.
Inshallah.
Inshallah. Well, earlier in the day, the President stated that the world needs to reach a different approach in order to handle the problem of illegal immigration, asserting that illegal immigration is reflecting a form of human rights, but from a perspective different, but not just limited to the opinion expression and to the political practice. And this issue of illegal immigration has been actually been a headache for lots of countries, especially also in Europe. So how do you see the role of the media in curbing such a cause?
It's difficult to answer this question.
Yeah.
I will tell you why. Because what happened in some of the countries that were defined as failed countries and had civil wars, so millions of people left their homes. So one way is, of course, and trying to immigrate to Europe. So the images that we got through the media was really affecting us a lot, because we have seen children, you know, drowning in the high seas and high seas and facing incredible, miserable situations. And the other hand, you know, European, they allowed some to enter their countries, but they want also to see other solutions. The president, of course, worked on this problem from the beginning, you know, on international level and on a regional level as well on a national level. For the national level, you have mentioned the projects, you know, so we have like five,
investing in the youth.
Yes. 5, 6
so that
million,
they will find tomorrow in their country.
Absolutely. So, okay, why you want to migrate? You have work here.
You have opportunities here.
You have opportunity, your dignity, you know, why you want to be like the rest?
Right.
So, and the media is transferring the images for those who cannot really find opportunity and good life in even the countries that they migrated to. So, over here, people start thinking about it. However, this illegal migration must stop because it's wrong, and countries are taking measures to stop it, and they have all the right to do this. And on the other hand, you know, it's difficult to answer because we still feel for those who want to try to find opportunities and good life.
Well, Egypt's vision also for human rights, as we all know, is based on key principles taught by integration and a sense of interconnection among all rights and freedoms. The state has taken throughout the last 7 years many steps forward, and the Charter for Human Rights, it was in a great celebration announced, and choosing a very refined diplomat to lead the National Council for Human Rights, Ambassador Mushira Khattab. All that also is reflecting on Egypt's image and respect for women and women empowerment. How do you see that, Dr. Amin?
Well, the ambassador is a good friend of mine, and you know, I look up for her. She's an icon, and she of course have done a lot when she was chairing the National Council for Women. And I met her many times. I met her in the book fair.
Yes.
It was a couple of years ago. We were in a session together.
Yes.
So, you know, she's very intelligent, knowledgeable, and the selection was excellent. She's...
Women empowerment also in Egypt took great strides forward.
Too much in my opinion. No, they deserve it. You know, they are
well deserved.
But of course,
since they have potential.
Yes, they have great potential.
Great.
Yeah, but you know, I think the door is much more open than before. Right now, the new policies and the selection,
the sense of support, of course,
and the support.
And the leadership support.
Yeah. So I think this is an excellent time for everybody to look into the performance of those been selected, and they will see that they are capable, just like other in the past.
Yeah. Social media today, Professor, is very powerful. And when we're talking about brand building, definitely it has a very important role to play.
Yeah. Well, social media grown so fast since the introduction of it back in the beginning of the millennium. In 2007, 8, and ever since, Facebook and social media multiplied like we haven't seen. So one thing is social media is still addressing, in terms of segmentation of the society, different people on different levels. So it's not like a mainstream media, just like television.
Yeah.
It's still social media. People having a group of friends, and this group of friends, they have another group of friends. So even if they have an issue, this is going to be discussed, unless there is an organization for a reason. But it is important to use social media. Right now, it's part of the media scene, and it is particularly when you do branding. You know, because
very powerful tool.
It's a very powerful tool.
It is.
So we want to ignore it. You're going to pay a price. So then Nile TV, for example, have an excellent position in YouTube.
Yeah.
So it is available. All the materials, content are. You know, the more you produce content, the better you have a better position, and the more you brand it throughout the world.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, very important and a busy schedule for the president earlier in the day in Hungary, in Budapest. And in a press conference earlier in the day with Mr. Orban, the president said that the inauguration of the new capital will be a declaration of a new republic in Egypt. So see how His Excellency is branding Egypt globally, and is definitely putting before the whole world the different achievements that are there today on Egyptian soil. Let's watch.
In a press conference with Viktor Orban, the Hungarian Prime Minister, in Budapest, President Sisi said the inauguration of the new capital will be a declaration of a new republic in Egypt after the difficult period the country witnessed over the past decade. During the press conference, President Sisi hailed Orban's continuous support for Egypt in the past years and his confidence that Egypt will overcome the hard circumstances it passed through in 2011, 2012 and 2013. President Sisi also agreed with Orban on boosting cooperation between the two countries in agriculture, tourism and various industries, affirming Egypt's keenness to benefit from Hungary's technological capabilities. The president reiterated his call to secure stability in countries within the region, saying that it is a prerequisite to blocking illegal migration to Europe, noting that illegal migrants use beaches and seaports of unstable countries in the region to reach Europe. In this regard, Orban said that Egypt's ability to protect its land and maritime borders was essential for Hungary and for Europe. Orban hailed Egypt's success in combating illegal migration since 2016, saying that it is a huge contribution to Hungarian security and the entirety of Europe. He also lauded Egypt's enhancements of dialogue among African, Arab and European countries, as well as its efforts to combat extremism and establish the values of tolerance, freedom of choice and acceptance of others. In his meeting with Orban on Wednesday, President Sisi expressed his aspiration that Hungary's current presidency of the V4 sees progress in different cooperation fields with Egypt.
Many people always talk about old media and new media, and what are the different arms in terms of the communication process. Can they intermingle, old media and new media?
They are one thing. You can't separate them.
Yes.
We call them old media and new media to distinguish between the new media and
with all
what
its
is
platforms, yeah,
and the different platforms. But the technology is always ahead. So right now, when we say that we are going to have 5G, for example, after we introduce 4G, this is again is going to bring a lot of wonderful things to the people and to the media, especially in countries where the media is well developed, as our situation over here. Well, I think one of the ranking and the listing ranked Egypt number 6 when they talked about how powerful Egypt is with regard to the media establishments, whether private, independent, or governmental, or state. Yeah.
Yes.
So what is called new, there is newer of the new.
Yes, always newer in the media.
Always, yeah. And, you know, things that appeared, died out, faded away. And new things are being developed. So,
very fast pace.
yes, absolutely. One of the most important things is, you know, we see the power of television with regard to the mainstream are really started to focus on more culture, political programs, and on popular programs, popular culture, popular programs. So this is again, of course, television started to diverse its programs through digital platforms.
Yes.
So we are talking about
To
digital
cope
media.
with the new media.
To cope with the new media, okay.
Technologies.
And then television right now is becoming an interactive instead of one way.
Yes, the audiences are today are more creators than they were before, like mere receivers.
Yeah,
only.
no, absolutely. Before were receivers.
Yes.
But right now they are
Creators.
So this program, you will find people debating pros and cons, opinions.
Yes.
So they are participating. This is excellent. You will find 10% or 20% of those who are defined as viewers of the program are having very strong opinions against us. But it's fine, because this is what's the way it is.
Yeah.
Everywhere else in the world with regard to the most popular programs.
Yes.
So you find people who are rejecting and always have negative ideas, but the majority who enjoyed the program saying, what should I express? You know, I like the program. So those are, we have, of course, terms for them.
Yeah.
They are not as active as they should be.
Yeah.
In the world right now, all the new are becoming one platform. With 5G, the platform is going to be based on telecommunication. And telecommunication is depending a lot on content, so they can feed their consumers with the information that they wanted to know. That's why you see a lot of partnerships with regard to the different telecommunication companies with media companies here in Egypt.
Yeah.
So it's happening, and hopefully we will see some developments with regard to the national broadcasting also soon.
Yes, sure, hopefully. Professor Amin, before we leave, I would like you to direct a message through Nile TV International and to Nile TV International on our 28th anniversary. And as we are celebrating together Egyptian achievements and celebrating together also a march of a channel that is considered to be Egypt's voice to the whole world.
Yes. Oh. 28 years.
Yes.
It appears as if yesterday. I would say, first of all, the first message is very short. Is flat thank you for all the work you have done throughout 28 years to reach out for those who wanted to know about their country and they couldn't find
a platform before.
A network that feeding them with the right information before, in the age of fake news. So I would right now I feel it, because all of my research is about fake news, or about my research is about artificial intelligence and fake news. So right now, this network is playing a very significant role, reaching out and affecting others with particular reference to those who wanting to know about their own country while living in a different country.
Yeah.
This is one thing. The second message, and it's very short, also it's I need to recognize all the people and leadership of this network, because, you know, with all what happened in Egypt in the past 10 years and the big changes they maintain an excellent performance regardless of the intervening variables and the negative atmosphere that surrounded this building and affecting the mere existence of the network.
Yeah.
This is, again, the second message. The third message is congratulations. Celebrate. Time to celebrate now.
Thank you so much, Professor Dr. Hussein Amin, our iconic media figure, and Dr. Amin, of course, a professor of mass communication at AUC and director of Kamal Adham Center for television and digital journalism. Thank you so much, Professor. Always an honor to have you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. And thank you, dear viewers, for joining us. I'm Dr Hussein, and many thanks for watching.